Hello and welcome. For those who don't know me, my name is John Haskell. I go by JT. I am one of the creators, well, pretty much the sole creator of WyoCyberRange.com. And I'm going to use this video to help you navigate WyoCyberRange for your first attempt. So this is going to be designed for someone who has never logged in before, and to kind of introduce you a little bit to what your courses will look like and some of the gotchas, where to go for if you need help, anything like that, to kind of introduce you to the new platform. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is go to WyoCyberRange.com, and it's WyoCyberRange.com, all one word. You'll see a page like this. It should say LabTech in the top left corner and the traditional website for it. Now, in order to log in for your first time, the way you do that is you scroll straight to the login field. And we do not use passwords on WyoCyberRange. We only use OAuth authentication, which means that you'll log in with Gmail or Microsoft or even Facebook. It depends on which clients we have at the time. As of right now, only Google and Microsoft are turned on for OAuth authentication. Now, if you don't want to use one of those, you can also use what we like to call Magic Link. Magic Link is a way that you can put your email in here. It will email you a one-time code. That one-time code will let you log into the platform. Okay. Now, as I said, we do not store your password, so there's not a way that you're going to lose your password to LabTech itself. All right. So when you first log in, I'm going to log in with a Google account, and I'm going to log in with a generic account that I have called LabTech Student. You'll notice the first time you log in, you will say that you're successfully logged in as, and it will give you LabTech Student for this example and a long number on the end. The long number is unique for you, and it is something that happens to every user, so don't be alarmed if you see this long number on the end. It is a randomly generated number that just makes sure that all of our users are unique within our system. Now, you'll notice the login button at the top right corner has actually changed into dashboard, and so we'll go there first. And when you first log into dashboard, it will show you that you're not really in anything. You have no courses, no labs, no subscription, no anything. Okay. Now, with this said, I have set this system up to automatically give you the free subscription plan. But if for some reason it doesn't give you the free subscription plan, like this one, it will look something like this. You'll notice you'll have a navigation bar at the top right corner. We'll go through those sections in a little bit. You'll notice at the top right corner, you're going to see my profile, help, main site, and log out. You can also go to your profile section. If you log in and you see that you do not have a subscription plan, then know that, well, you are probably logged in as a personal account. If you're logging in as a student from an institution, make sure that you log in as a student from that institution. Okay. The system will check for your email address, and if we already have a contract with your school, it will automatically assign you the proper permissions. If you log in as your personal account, you'll probably have to go to manage subscription, and for this demo, we're going to give the free plan. So we'll look at the free plan here, and if I go back to my dashboard, you'll notice the only thing that's changed here is now I have the free plan enabled. I currently do not have any courses, so if I want to browse the courses, I can click on Browse Courses, or I can click on Course Catalog at the top of our menu, and it will show you any of the courses that you're allowed to enroll in. Now, if you are logging in as an institution, your instructor may be using enrollment codes in order for you to be able to access a course. Now, if that's the case, I will show you later in this video what that looks like, but you'll see an enrollment form at the top of this page where you will actually type in your code to access LabTech. For this video, we're going to enroll in the LabTech course. As soon as you enroll into a course, you'll notice at the top of the page that you've been enrolled, and you'll notice that the enrollment button changes to a View Course button. And we can actually open up our course by clicking the View Course here, or we can go to the My Course section in the top left corner and see all the courses that we're currently enrolled in, which, as you see here, I can actually log into the course here as well. Before we enter the course, I would like to show you that you do have a profile within this site. So at the top right corner, if I go to up to the top right and go to my profile, I can see that I do have a profile here. And you can edit your profile all you want. This is where you're going to find a lot of your information, your bio, about me, your profile pictures. If you want to give a website or a GitHub URL, you can change them here. Just be aware that these profiles are publicly accessible, which means anyone can see them. So make sure that you don't put anything in here that you do not want to share with everybody else. As you complete things within LabTech, you will be earning badges, and these badges are able to go on credly.com if your instructor has enabled them. But if they have not been enabled, your badges will be here. Also, your certificates will be here as well. All right, let's go back to my dashboard. I notice now I'm enrolled in one course. I see that under here I have Introduction to LabTech. I have done nothing with it so far. I'm 0% complete. And if I wanted to, I can now go into this course and start going through it. Now this course here doesn't have an instructor inside because this is a public course. It says it's a beginner course, and this one should only take me about 20 minutes to complete. It tells me a little bit about what's going to be here, and also a little bit more information about the course itself. Now this is all written by your instructor if you're in an institution, and they will be able to share whatever information they want. On the right side you'll notice your progress complete, which is behind my picture here. Right now we're at 0%, the progress bar. I don't have anything completed. I also can see that since this is a public course, I can unenroll from this course at any time if I feel like it, and I can also access the discussion forum for this course and actually see that, hey, I could rate discussions to this course itself. Alright, so if I look at the right hand column, I have a couple different sections. I have the introduction section. If I click on one of these, welcome, I can actually read this section. Welcome to WyoCyberRange, and congratulations on embarking on your first exciting course with us. We are here to teach you all about cybersecurity. And it goes on to talk about that. Now what's really cool about this is you as the student gets to choose to complete the course. So you mark as complete to let yourself know and your instructor know that you have completed this section of the course. Now this course is very, very tiny. As I said, it was only about 20 minutes long, so our progress has already increased to 5%. You'll notice also on the right hand column, it is checked off that we've already read the welcome statement. If we click next, it will take us to the next section, and this is going to tell us about the previous and next buttons, and then know that if we have read this, we should click the mark as complete on every page. And it's a great way for you to track your progress and also let your instructor know that you are completing the assignments. The next section is going to talk a little bit about our profile. We already looked at our profile before, and our profile says certificates and badges. We already went through that section. Really cool. We can actually earn a whole bunch of different things and kind of build up that new skills that we need for the next stage of our life. So let's mark this one as complete, and we'll go to next. Now, immediately you should have access to all free public courses. This is one of those free account courses. It's going to be a lot of foundational knowledge, like how to use a computer or what is about social engineering or something like that. Now, if you want to see some of the premium information, like let's say you're preparing for the Tech Plus, the Security Plus, or any of the CompTIA certifications, you'll need a premium account. Now, the premium account is $19.99 as of the recording of this video, and it is a monthly subscription. So depending on how long it takes you to go through, you can control that at your own whim. Now, again, we don't keep any passwords on our site, and we don't keep any credit cards to our site either. We will take you to another page called Stripe, and Stripe is our provider for credit cards. At any time, once you are subscribed, you can go to the My Subscription side and cancel your subscription, change your subscription, whatever it may be. Now, if you are part of a school or an educational institution, just be aware that your school may already have a subscription with us and provide you free access to all the courses within WyoCyberRange. I'm going to mark that as complete. Now let's talk a little bit about what you're going to find in your courses. So there's a lot of different things you'll find in your courses. You're going to find text pages, labs, videos, hotspots, drag and drops, flashcards, quizzes, coding activities, AI. So if you are a part of a private institution, we do have AI activities that also will be provided to you. If you are accessing LabTech from a public sector, the public sector currently does not have an AI implementation, but depending on if you're going to be part of an institution is how that works. So the first thing is about text pages. This is kind of like your book. Text pages will have a lot of the information you need for the book material itself. And once you have that done, you can then go to labs. Labs are where you're going to do everything in your real world environment. So LabTech itself allows you to have full access to real world machines and environments. And when I say environments, we have different things such as capture the flags and Cybersecurity activities that will also help you complete things as well. Now, what you'll actually do is do a lot of fill in the blank questions and go through those labs themselves, which will give you the practical knowledge that you need to complete a certain task. It's a lot nicer than going through a simulator because you're actually going through a real machine. Now, we'll also have videos. It could be videos like this one, or it could be videos from public partners or anything like that. These videos are going to be a nice way for you to walk through the information without having to just read the information or looking at pictures, and give you a little bit more information. We'll have hotspots and drag and drop activities, pretty self-explanatory, but we'll use these to help try to test your knowledge to see how much you're picking up. We'll have flashcards to test your knowledge, and we have two different modes for our flashcards, which we will show you. We have review and practice mode. We've got quizzes. Now, the quizzes can come in many different formats here. Quizzes will come in multiple choice, true and false answers, or even short answers as of the recording of this video. We have real-world scripting activities, such as PowerShell, Python, Bash. If you are trying to learn one of these languages, or it's part of your curriculum, like for instance, CompTIA has been putting a lot of scripting within their certifications. It will allow you to practice a little bit of that before you actually get to the exam itself. All right, so let me show you a couple real-life examples of what it would look like inside of LabTech. So this one is a video example. Hey there, welcome to LabTech. So you've learned a little bit about what we do here. Now these quick videos are here to help you out, making your life a little easier, maybe even a little bit fun. And think of them as your sidekick while you're working through the rest of your materials. When you're done here, go ahead and mark this one as complete, and then jump to the next activity. Let's keep going. Sweet, so we just watched that video. I'm going to mark that one as complete, and then I'm going to go to the next one. The next one is going to be a quiz, so we get to take a quiz about LabTech. So we can actually go through this quiz here, and we can say which section is designed for the knowledge reinforcement and self-assessing using different question formats. Well, I would think that's going to be our quiz. True or false, text pages are primarily for watching videos. Well, I think that's going to be false. Coding activities provide a sandbox or run scripts with an automated test case. Yes, absolutely. And remember, for those coding activities, we're actually going to run real code on the back end. So you're not just going to be running simulated code. This is going to run your code in a real live sandbox behind the scenes. Now, what is automatically awarded at full completion of the course? Well, we're going to give you those printable certificates. Now, the badges are available, but remember, the badges are not just about full completion of the course. It could be multiple courses or making sure that you have certain skills available before you are presented with the badge. What is the primary purpose of the lab section of the platform? Well, here is really to gain hands-on practical skills. So this is where we're going to go through and get that hands-on experience. Now, depending on how we did here, we can actually submit this and see, well, okay, we got 100%. So this quiz here is now done. We have 100%. We've passed. We can move on. Now be aware, depending on the course itself, sometimes the instructor may not let you see the answers to a later date, or maybe never. It all depends on the instructor themselves. Now, if you are taking a public course, all public courses will show you the answers right after you take the exam itself. Okay, so let's go back. Now, if we went back, you'll notice that the quiz is already marked as complete because we took it. We can now go to the next section of the hotspot activity. Let's start this activity. Hotspot activities is almost like a drag and drop, but it's using lines. So if I want to say this is a tomato, this is an orange, this is a cantaloupe, and this is a pineapple. And these are used interchangeably throughout the system. Sometimes the lines make more sense for things that have smaller activities, like picking out ports on the back of a server. Sometimes drag and drop with the labels make more sense. So it all depends on your instructor. We'll submit this. Excellent work. We got a 4 out of 4. We have completed that activity. We can now move on to the flashcard activity. So we have different flashcard modes here. Our one mode is the learn mode, and the other mode is the review mode. The learn mode will keep track of your progress, while the review mode is almost on your pace where it's not tracked. For instance, if we go to review mode first, these flashcards are all about pizzas. So review mode, margarita pizza. If I click on the slide, it says traditional Napoleon pizza topped with tomatoes, cheese, fresh basil, salt, olive oil. Okay, that's cool. And if I go through it, I can actually go through these slides. If I wanted to, I can keep going. But it really doesn't keep track of anything. And so for those who want to keep track of it, we also have learn mode. Learn mode, on the other hand, is you'll read it, you'll read the description, and then you can say, ooh, I didn't know that one, or I did know that one. So yeah, maybe I knew this one. Deep dish pizza. Okay, well, that's a thick crust pizza. Yeah. Okay, well, maybe I didn't know that one very well, so maybe I'll say review that one again. Calzone. Okay, if I know that, okay, I knew that one. Pepperoni. I knew that one. And maybe I didn't know this one. All right. Well, 3 out of 5 I've mastered for this session, and it will save it. And we can actually start a new session, or we can go back to the course. Okay. Now, once you actually go through the study flashcards, you'll notice they also get marked as complete automatically. Okay. And that's just the way that these ones work. All right, let's go back to our other activities. Our next activity is going to be a drag and drop. So if we start this activity, okay. We have drag and drop activities, great for identification and learning for the order of things. Let's drag this, do a drag and drop activity, and can be familiar with the interface. So a keyboard, well, this is a keyboard. This is our tower. This is our monitor. This is our mouse. Cool. So those are different pieces of the computer. Well, what did we do? Yeah, we got 4 out of 4. Great job. So this is what you'll see in the courses as drag and drop activities. The next one will be an introduction to our labs themselves. So this is a lab that will have all of our our steps on one side and our lab environment on the right side. All right, let me just hide my webcam here for a second. There you go. Now you can see, hey, look, there's a start lab environment at the top right corner. Now, when you're going through your lab for the very first time, you do need to start the lab. This lab itself will then build behind the scenes. And as I said, this is going to be a real-life machine. And this machine currently is building. So behind the scenes, it's built. Okay, it looks like it's completely built. We've got a couple controls for shutdown, reset, and stop. And we also have our console button. This is how we get to our monitor of the machine. If the machine is timed, it will give you a time remaining. It will start counting down, and then it will have a finish and delete lab. All right, you only click this button for when you're done. Right now, I'm still not completely done with this lab, so it's not going. I shouldn't finish this lab just yet. I should go through it. Now, just be aware, if you do have the timer hits 0, the system itself will auto clean up the lab behind the scenes, okay? So if this timer hits 0, you have probably about 10 minutes, and it will probably delete your machine automatically. So you have to make sure that you keep a track of this and make sure that, hey, if I do have this happening, that I get my lab done in a timely fashion. Now, with that said, let me click on the console button. You'll notice the console button logs in. And this is where I normally recommend a lot of people to have 2 monitors, because I like to put this screen on one monitor and this screen on the other monitor. This way I can have my steps on one monitor and this screen on another monitor. Now, if you only have one monitor, it's okay. You can still organize this to be separated. There we go. And we could control this. It's just we're going to be unlimited on space. So the username for this machine is student, and the password is password1. So if I type that in, it will then let me log into my machine. Now this is a Parrot OS box. It already tells me, and I can start becoming familiar with this machine. If I go through my steps here, I've clicked start, I got my lab environment, and I can come in here, and it says, hey, we probably should do this. So at the top corner, it says, click on the terminal icon. And then in the window, type the words, who am I? What is a user that is returned for the who am I command? You'll notice that you may have a hint here. It looks like it starts with an S and it ends with a T. So let's type student. Let's check it. Hey, we're correct. So we have now completed that step, and we have now completed our lab. So if we look at the top of this lab, we have 1 out of 1 answered. It's a pretty easy lab, but we are now complete. So once you have completed that, you can go down to the bottom, mark your lab as complete, and then we can finish our lab. Make sure that you finish your lab, because as I said, it will only let you log into one lab at a time. So I am now finished this lab. I can close out of my console window, and we don't have to wait for that to finish. We can go right back to LabTech, although it already beat me. It already cleaned up our lab for us. But you'll notice at this side, the lab has now been completed, and then we can move on to the next stage. So the next one that we have is a coding activity. Not all courses will have coding in it, but if it does, it will look something like this. It will give you an objective and some instructions. And so our instructions here is the command we need is echo, and this is what we're going to do is we want to print out hello world and nothing else. Well, the nice thing is this is an easy one because we've already given you the answer. So if I just uncomment that echo hello world, it will then test it, and it says, hey, we did this correctly. But if for some reason we did it incorrectly, let me put a 3 instead of hello world, it'll tell us that we failed, and it says, hey, look, we got this output and we needed this output, and we can go back and then critique our script. Yay, this one worked. Okay. All right. Now we can go to the next section, which is going to be congrats. Another text. We've made it to the end of the course. You'll find that you have unlocked a certificate of completion, which you'll find under My Achievements. Great work. Mark complete. All right. All right, so it looks like we're at 100% on our course. So we can go back to our dashboard. And it looks like, yeah, this course has been completed for us. So if I go to my achievements, hey, look, we've done we have a certificate saying we completed, and we also have an introduction badge to say we know how to use LabTech, and we received it today. Okay. So that's the very basics of LabTech and how you go through it. There are going to be other things that you're going to be looking for. You can look for your grades. You can go through the course catalog, maybe do a different course. You can see all your courses. And if you have Capture the Flag competitions, we'll have them here. If you have access to Cyber Cities, you'll have them here. And you can actually see a whole bunch of different things. Now, with that said, if you have any issues or if you have any bugs to report, trust me, No one's perfect. I have bugs in this software, and we'll work through them as we go through. You can always go to the help and facts section, which you can get it from the front page, or you can go to help and support at the top right corner. And in here, you can go through here and read about some of the FAQs that we have, or you can create a brand new ticket, and you can put in a brand new ticket to tell me, hey, there's a lab environment problem. Maybe lab 4 or lab 3 on introduction doesn't work. See, spellings and all. And you can input a picture if you want to give us a picture for it. Maybe this is a high priority. We can submit that ticket in here. So basically, you just told me that, hey, this lab environment has an issue, and now our help desk will take care of that. You can see your ticket history here. You can view other tickets here once they're closed, but all your active tickets will be here on the front page. If for some reason you wanted to reply, never mind, I messed it up. It's working now. Please close the ticket. You'll get that. And we put that in there, and all your replies will be here, and you'll also get a version of this in your email. Okay, so this will also be emailed to you as well. All right, so I think that's the basic setup of LabTech. Now, as you go through LabTech, it will become second nature as you go through here. As I said, if you are part of an institution, you will have a lot more probably in your course catalog and other things that are available to you. And there's going to be other videos that will be presented to you for that. So thank you guys for watching the introduction to LabTech. And I hope that this is helpful. And I hope that LabTech is helpful for your education and keep getting those certifications. Okay, thanks. Bye.